Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here with me. Welcome to Mental Training with Mez. I am Meslyn, your mental fitness trainer here on YouTube, and we are here to actually train our minds. So today's topic or today's focus of attention, today's mental training exercise is going to be on how to trust intelligently. So we want to know that, or we should know, or we should desire to know that the way to trust intelligently is to trust what you can actually see. And we practice a form of faith-based mental training because our minds in its healthiest state understands that when you're focused on divinity, you're actually functioning at your most optimum state of being. Because when we are in our most natural state, we are alert and relaxed. So the way to trust intelligently is to trust the divinity that you see. Trust the divinity that is actually revealing itself to us. When we understand that divinity is not a man in the sky, but the actual inhale and exhale of our breathing, we stop forcing ourselves to see things that are not actually there. That means we stop actually looking at life, believing something is happening if it may or may not be happening, making assumptions, jumping to conclusion. We want to train our mind to see reality because that is what life is. Life is truth. And what the inhale and exhale reveals to us is that if you are going to trust truth, you have to actually pay attention to it. You have to strengthen your mental muscles. So to pay attention to life, we need to have mental stamina. So that means our concentration and focus muscles, which are the mental muscles of our mind, have to be fit to keep up with life. And so what we're actually doing during our mental training sessions is we're preparing ourselves to handle life outside of the gym. So everything that we're learning in these sessions, what we learn about ourselves, the way we're learning how to be in this world, we actually take it into the real world. So the training, the techniques that are derived from the principles of faith is what we're actually using to strengthen our concentration and focus muscles, because this is going to help us use our mind to pay attention rather than use our mind to believe in things that may or may not be there. It is simply just a more natural way for us to see life when we're seeing beyond the appearances. That is what we have to understand about ourselves, is that when we are healthy mentally, our ability to see beyond appearances is more easier. So if you're like me, and you've decided I'm ready for a life change, I'm ready to actually go after what it is I know I desire in life, you're going to have to look past the appearances that are before you, because the life that you currently are living when you're mentally unhealthy is just not the life you would have created had you been more focused, had you been paying attention to the details and learning the lessons that life was trying to teach us. So it's inevitable that the life that you currently have is not necessarily going to be the life that you desire. And that's okay. A healthy mind is not going to argue what is. However, because it's solution oriented, it's not creating drama. We know that a healthy mind is what we need in order to move past a life that we don't desire to see and experience. So the most intelligent way for you to use your trust, because that is what it's going to take in life, because you need life to support yourself, right? We need the engagement and the support of others, but you want to trust intelligently. Everything about life tells us that you are going to be living in a world that is always balanced. So if there are healthy-minded individuals, it is likely and almost a fact, a certain fact, that there are unhealthy individuals. And so you just want to have and prepare yourself to be on the side of healthy-minded individuals. And it just so happens when you are strengthening your mind, trusting divinity, you're going to know how to handle unhealthy minds. You're going to know how to handle situations that present themselves to be a challenge, that present themselves to be obstacles. And in those moments, you want to know that you are trusting what you are seeing intelligently, that you're not just blindly trusting it because you haven't really trained your mind to be focused on truth. So now what you're really trusting is your coping mechanisms, your survival instincts. But life reminds us that Out of survival should come knowledge, should come wisdom. And if you are going to trust intelligently, you should be trusting life, because life is always going to give us the accurate feedback, accurate data. So when we learn to see life as it is, meaning beyond appearances, beyond the shape or form it's taking, this is going to allow us to understand what it is we're seeing. And with that understanding, a healthy mind is going to use that knowledge to handle and navigate life. So to trust intelligently simply means begin to pay attention to life, because life is the very thing that we want to be happy in, that we want to create a life that we love, have meaning, have purpose, have support, have alliances, be healthy, be wealthy. These are all the things that we desire to experience in life. So it would make sense that if we are going to trust anything, if we are going to trust anyone and anything in our experience, we should first make the habit of trusting life. And so the form of training that we do, we focus on the breath, because the breath is life itself. And the breath, by focusing on the breath is going to reveal to us certain insights, certain revelations that we then can use when we actually leave our training sessions and go and deal with day-to-day activities in the real world. So yes, you are in the real world right here, right now, as we are going to begin our training, but this is practice. When I say real world, I'm talking about the moment you leave the gym. You have to remember that your state of mind is what's most important. A healthy mind is always content. And if you learn to maintain that contented state, that is what is going to allow us to trust intelligently. So we're not just out here being naive to the world that we live in. We are going to be alert, but relaxed. And in our relaxed state, it doesn't mean we're passive. It means we're ready to take action if we need to take action, ready to respond to whatever life presents, but we understand what we're paying attention to. So when you focus on life, you are in actuality focusing on divinity. You're focusing on supreme power, which is why it allows us to know how to use our intelligence in the moment. So by focusing on the breath, we're trusting it. We're trusting life, but we're not naive to trusting life. We're paying attention. And that is what you learn as an adult. Maybe when we were younger, we can be curious, and sometimes that curiosity would lead us into the edge of danger. But as you begin to get older, what we should have been doing is acquiring more knowledge, more understanding about life. But life happens. We got distracted. They pushed us out of the door at 18, for some of us before that, and basically told us to go out and live our lives. And a lot of us have only our coping mechanisms, the beliefs we put into place that allowed us to even live our lives. But we're barely living our lives if we're not living it to the highest and fullest potential within us. And the breath is proof that the potential you have to be, to do, to acquire whatever it is you desire is within every single one of us. But it is going to take mental effort. You do have to be mentally fit to handle a life of abundance. Otherwise, in our unhealthy state, yes, we are capable of making a muck out of things. We're capable of overindulging, of wasting, of misusing, mistreating things. We are. And so that's why we have to understand that if we are going to trust life, which we have to, because you need that support. You need the fruits of life to nourish you. You're going to have to do it intelligently. And in my experience, just from mentally training what we're doing right now, I've learned that to focus on divinity is the most intelligent way to trust life, because in that state, you're aligned with supreme power. So that feeling of stability, that feeling of security, that feeling of balance allows you to make choices and take action that you feel confident about the results from. You're okay with whatever happens from that state of trusting divinity. And so welcome to Faith-Based Mental Training. Let's begin. So there are some prerequisites to mental training. As I said, you are now in the gym. So I want you to dress comfortably. Know that we are now up to 15 minutes of sitting silent and still. And so I'd like for you to wear clothing that you are comfortable sitting in without allowing what you're wearing to be a form of distraction for you. Also, if you are not accustomed to sitting silent and still for 15 minutes, both inwardly and outwardly, you may want to move your body a little bit before you sit down, kind of stretch, wiggle it out a bit, use the restroom, drink some water, put a sweater on, take some of your clothing off, but make sure that you're doing what you feel is necessary for you to settle in, because we are going to be sitting for 15 minutes. Also, have back support. it we want to be sitting with our spine erect and our spine elongated. Because we're focused on our breathing, this actually helps to realign ourselves to bring us back center. And so you want to be seated in a position to remain alert and relaxed. So if you could sit with a back support, that will help you tremendously. And it also allows us to really maintain that form of divinity when you're sitting in the presence of divinity. If it's hard for you to focus on your breathing, because that is the focal point of our mental training sessions, meditation beads are powerful. They really serve as a great tool, a great equipment to this form of training. Each bead represents an inhale and exhale flow. So as you take one inhale and exhale, that's one bead. You'll move on to the next bead. One inhale, one exhale. And this is just going to help you really stay focused on your breathing till you can get to a point where you don't even need the beads and you're able to really just keep your focus of attention on your breathing. Lastly, be in a space where you feel comfortable enough to close your eyes should you desire to close your eyes. You don't have to. Again, we are sitting in our truest nature, so we're able to maintain a state of alertness but be relaxed at the same time. But I would like it, if you feel compelled to close your eyes, that you are in a space you feel comfortable enough to do that, because again, this is going to keep your environment from serving as a distraction for you. We are strengthening our concentration and focus muscles by trusting in divinity in the moment. When you are focused on divinity, which is what trust is, trust means to give your attention to. It means to be so loyal that your attention is not divided at all. And so we are training today to really learn to strengthen our concentration and focus muscles to focus on life itself. We're going to actually focus on life. And because life is divinity itself, because life is supremely powerful, it actually strengthens our concentration and focus muscles while doing this. So as I said, faith-based mental training faith has principles. And these 5 principles are: trust in God, be sincere about trusting in God, be disciplined about trusting in God, be patient with the process, and be pure. These 5 principles help to make the techniques of the training that we use in our mental fitness training program. So the 5 techniques I'm going to share with you, although they are 5, it's really only one big fluid movement that you're really focusing on. It just helps me to break it down when I'm explaining it, because that way you know exactly what you're doing and you don't allow your mind to get involved thinking there's more to it. We are really only mastering the art of trusting intelligently. We're learning to pay attention to life with extreme alertness, but in a relaxed state of mind. Because you're paying attention to supreme power, there really is no reason to be anxious or stressed out or tense. So let's begin. So the first technique is that you are going to keep your focus of attention on your breathing. I just explained why, no need to go into it further, but the breath is life, life is divinity, it's supreme power. The second technique is that we're going to breathe through any emotions or sensations or tingleness that we feel. Because we are focused on divinity, our focus of attention is going to be really concentrated on it. That's the natural absorption that divinity has. It's such a powerful, high vibrational frequency. It feels so good to the body that you're going to notice you don't want to drift away from it. And so, what you have to do is just allow yourself to breathe through any discomfort, any sensations, any tingleness that you may feel during our training sessions. The third technique is that you're going to intentionally breathe in and intentionally breathe out. This is really the core of our technique. So I want you to intentionally inhale and intentionally exhale. That is going to be connected to the fourth technique, which is every inhale and exhale is not going to have a pause and you're not going to hold your breath. So you're going to make it fluid. So every inhale gets a connected exhale and every exhale gets a connected inhale. And this is going to really help us learn to keep our rhythm, not to lose ourselves when something unexpected or something we feel we weren't ready to handle arises. A healthy mind is always prepared to handle whatever is presented to us. So, by learning to breathe fluidly, not pausing, not holding our breath, this is going to keep us alert to the moment. We don't want to lose ourselves because we feel a sense of instability or because something unexpected is happening. So, that's what that fourth technique is teaching us. Lastly, believe it or not, we have to give our body permission to be relaxed. So your mind, when it's focused on divinity, when it's focused on life itself, automatically knows this is the most natural way for me to see life. And so your mind comes to a state of peace and the body wants to relax. But we keep ourselves rigid, we keep ourselves tense because we're not actually paying attention to our environment. That's why be in a space where you feel comfortable enough to close your eyes because you really want to experience your truest nature, which is to be alert and relaxed simultaneously. A lot of us are alert and paranoid, alert and stressed, alert and anxious, alert and worried. And these are imbalanced states of being because alertness is not in alignment with worry. So, alertness in a divine, trusting, intelligent way is aware of being relaxed because in that state, you're prepared to act. All right. So, we are going to take some nice big breaths. That's going to serve as our warm up. And then we are going to do our 15 minutes mental training. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Big breath. Big breath. And right now, you're simply practicing the connected inhale and exhales. Big breath. And begin. You're reminded all we're doing is intentionally breathing in and intentionally breathing out. Focusing on your breathing. Focus on the inhale and exhale flow. Just continue to concentrate on the full inhale and exhale. And you'll notice this keeps you from drifting into thoughts. This keeps you from feeling any discomfort that would compel you to move. You're completely anchored in the breath. Don't force the body tempo to relax. Let that happen on its own. Just continue to focus on the inhale and exhale. Right now, we're simply experiencing our power to be alert and relaxed by focusing on divinity. Pay attention, because that's all we're doing is paying attention to the inhale and exhale of our breathing. Alert and relaxed. You're fully present to the moment, the here and now. In and out of the nose, mouth closed. We're simply being alert and relaxed by focusing on the full inhale and full exhale flow of our breathing. Again, the eyes can be open or closed. You are fully alert and awake to this moment. To focus on divinity is to be alert and relaxed. So, eyes open or closed, it's up to you. Hold form. Again, to the best of your ability, you're maintaining stillness. The position you are in, you are holding it and breathing through any discomfort, any sensations you're feeling, you're breathing through it. Focus on the full inhale and exhale. Intentionally breathing in and intentionally breathing out. Don't force the body temple to relax. Allow it to relax on its own. Simply focus on the full inhale and exhale of your breathing, and this is naturally going to bring the body into a state of relaxation. But you're still alert. Pay attention. 4 minutes. Every inhale is connected to an exhale. Every exhale is connected to an inhale. Big breath, big breath. That was our 15 minutes mental training session, guys. I'm so proud of you. Thank you. So today's topic, today's training exercises, what we did today was the how to trust intelligently. You trust intelligently by paying attention to the thing you're giving your focus of attention to. And so our faith-based mental training is that we are giving all our focus of attention to the breath, because the breath is life. And seeing as how life is the very thing we want to be healthy, wealthy, and content in, it makes sense. It is intelligent to give all your focus of attention to it. And what we learn in doing this, faith teaches us that this is the act of faith. This is the first principle of trusting God, is to pay attention, is to give all your focus of attention to it. And so we are not trusting a man in the sky. We are touching and trusting that which is real, divinity, outside and inside of us, the breath. Like the channel, let me know that you got, or like the video, let me know you got your mental training session in by liking the video. Subscribe, because our intention is to be mentally healthy, is to preserve our mental health by showing up and training every day, 15 minutes every day. This is how we set the intention to strengthen the health of our minds, by trusting divinity. That is also what it means to hit the notification bell. You're holding yourself accountable. I'm holding myself accountable. I upload these videos to show my intention that I'm here in the gym, showing up, mentally training. By you liking the video, that's you allowing yourself to hold yourself accountable. So hit the notification button, because I upload at all times, but I am uploading. Trust me, I am uploading. And lastly, constructive criticism. I am a student of life. I'm ready to learn, and anything you feel that can help me to make this session better, I can be more clear, I could do less talking, I could do more talking, I'm willing to learn from it. And so that is also your way of learning to compassionately critique. We can't learn without practicing. So that's what we're here to do, get mentally stronger. I will see you guys tomorrow.